You. Myrtle, what are you doing in my karting bag? What do you have to say for yourself? Hey? Don't bury yourself further. Yes. Hello. Hello. Yeah, good girl. The question I have for you, Pumpkin. Question I have. Oh, yeah, hello. Question I have. Do you have enough food? Because I'm going to be gone until about 3 o'clock, I reckon, today. It's meant to be a karting video. It's turning into a cat video. I might not have even done a video by the time this goes up. If it goes up. Knowing me and my upload schedule. But yeah, this is my little house, my conservatory, my wall. Green 51. Green's coming back today. And take home a trophy. Woo, he says. Last time it did not go well. No, I had a good race. I retired. I crashed twice. And then the final was just absolute bedlam. But I could have got through to the B final, but I didn't, because I just fucked it. But yeah, pretty much good to go. So next thing you should see is me either at the track or sitting in a go-kart. We'll see what happens.
And the sign said the words of the prophets are written on the subway walls and tenement halls and whispered in the sound of silence. Fucking love that song. I really love that song. That's my song. Oh my god, that's that loud noise. That's my song of 2023. Oh, it's Elvis. We're caught in a trap.
What they say, all my kids they play. I want you tonight.
Grab somebody sexy.
Tell them, hey.
The less said about the better, I think we'll all agree. Well, here we go then, ladies and gentlemen, my return to the commentary box. First time I've been doing this style of video for a very long time, and also, of course, my return to sprint racing. First time in 4 years, as I'm sure you heard me mention. Hopefully this one goes a little bit better than the last time out in the sprints did. It's been raining and it's wet, as I'm sure you can probably tell from the front of the go-kart, which obviously is very good news for me, because I bloody love it in the rain, and I bloody love it in the rain round Buckmore Park. This is basically how I learned to do Club 100 racing, because every race back in the day here at this track was wet. Don't know what's happened recently. The rain has just sort of stayed away for the most part. But here we go then, sprint racing. I'm in heats 3, 5 and 8, and I'll be starting heat number 3 in P7. So obviously the only direction that I really want to go in is forward, and this is where we will be starting then, just behind Mr. Tim Williams, as we get this race underway. Green lights go. The left-hand side of the grid getting a much better getaway than the right-hand side, as Steve Lindley goes round the outside into a bit of a Club 100 sandwich, and not entirely sure what this guy here is doing, as he's sort of like jockeying the wheel to try and turn Steve into Tim Williams. Bit of an odd choice, I'm not going to lie, but I'm going to get onto the inside, the outside even, heading into hairpin 2. Bit of a dangerous place, because you never know, there might be a spinner. There was a spinner there, but fortunately he had the good grace to not let himself get pushed into the path of us, as this chap in blue tries to go down the inside of that chap in the very multicoloured helmets. I give him a good whack for good worth and get past him for good worth as well. So another overtake done there, as we're now onto the back of this chap in the multicoloured helmet. I think that might be Mango Motorsport. I've absolutely no idea. I'd have to check with Simon Dean on that. One of Karting Track Guides, you can check him out as well. He's a fabulous man, making waves in Club 100 social media. But here, someone making waves is myself, down the inside on Garda, on that chap who may or may not be Mango Motorsport, waiting for that to be confirmed, and we get ourselves another position. I think we're up into something like P6 now, I want to say. Hopefully we can make that P5 though, as we get onto the back of this chap Williams in the grey suit. Broke formation at the start of the race. Don't know if you clocked that as well. I certainly did. I've also clocked Mango Motorsport, might be him, not sure, getting down the inside into turn 1, so that wasn't really ideal. Although something that was ideal for me was Mr. Williams heading off into the shadow realm of the runoff that is of the hairpin 1 run off as we stick onto the back of this chap who may or may not be Mango Motorsport and try and settle down, although what's not going to help is by running wide and getting track limits like that, you silly arse, James. As we cut forward a few minutes, not a lot happened. I just sort of stayed behind this chap who may or may not be Mango Motorsport, but now I have been dive bombed by Adam Natha into hairpin 1. I'm going to try and hang around the outside into hairpin 2, but he's just got the better line through there than I was able to manage, and he's able to get past me. And actually, here we go then, Adam down the inside of the chap who may or may not be Mango Motorsport, gets the move done, and now I've got a chance to do exactly what I did to that chap in blue on the first lap and sneak it down the inside out of the S's and into the Siamese sweep. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. Oh, no, there he goes. He tried it, but it really did not work out for him, and he's now off in the shallow realm, and I'm able to move on, do it saying wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, as many times as I can squeeze into a video. But yeah, a couple more minutes would pass. We're basically on the penultimate lap, I think, as there goes Adam Natha, absolutely obliterating Steve Lindley, who had a couple of very choice hand signals for him there, and a few choice words in the debrief in the paddock afterwards as well. I honestly thought at this stage, if you see Steve there absolutely yeeting it in to put into Pullman's, I honestly thought Steve was going to try and take him out. I thought his head had gone. Obviously that isn't what was going to happen, and I was also really hoping that me and Steve would have had a really good battle on the penultimate lap. Didn't quite work out, although as we come out of paddock and into guard, I was adding just a little sniff of a look down the inside, but I decided, you know what, last lap, it's not worth it. We're going to come home P5. I will 100% take that in my first race. P7 to P5, not a bad return as far as I'm concerned. So here we go then into heat number 5, my second heat of the day, and we're starting in P7 behind Williams. Are we going to get a good launch as the last lot on the left-hand side did? No, we're not as good as they did, but still a pretty decent launch. We do get down the inside of that chap, and we think we're going to get down the inside of a couple of chaps here, following Williams through very nicely, as we're even able to take the traditional racing line into hairpin 1, get a really good exit out of hairpin 1 as well, as we send it down the inside on Williams and get that move as well. I do believe we're in, what are we in now? We're roughly I'm going to say we're in roughly P7, just behind Mo Hassan, who I believe has calmed down after his little altercation with some chap in the paddock after his first race. But it looks like Mo all over the back of this chap in the black helmet and red race suit. Thank you very much for not wearing a black suit and white helmet. It makes a big difference. In fact, I haven't seen a lot of them today, it must be said. And then here we go then, chap in red suit and black helmet, pretty much off the track limits for sure. Mo getting his braking a bit wrong, or one of us getting our braking a bit wrong, because I'm just bashing him through there, and I bash him through here as well. He gives me the thumbs up because we actually still had the chap in the red suit and black helmet on our outside, so that at least confirms we do now both have a position. He gives a look over the shoulder, gives me the super secret special signal to say, come on, let's work together and catch the guys in front, which I'd love to do if we just didn't run our tyres over the red stuff, the two of us there, costing us some precious valuable time. And then equally do exactly the same thing on the exit of hairpin 2, and just to add insult to injury, there goes man in red suit and black helmet down the inside. He clearly didn't get the super secret special signal to say let's race together, although I have got the more favourable line into Pullman's as he goes spiralling off onto the outside, compromise through paddock, and it's just a case of getting the foot down out of paddock into Garda, and we get that move done. I do believe that is P6, and I think it's time for another wham bam thank you ma'am. Couple minutes later then, and you can see Mo all over the back of this chap in the yellow helmet. He's got a good launch out of the second of the S's and down into Siamese sweep. He gets that position, although the chap in the yellow helmet getting a much better exit out of Pullman's. Is he going to try and go around the outside of paddock? He tried it, he thought about it, but it just didn't quite work out. A couple of looks over the shoulder, but at this point it's just not going to work out for him. I have got past and up into, I'm going to say P5. I'm going to say P5. Say it with me, everyone. Wham, bam, thank you, man. Up into P5, and we're where we were in the first tier. A few minutes would go by with not a lot happening, although as we get towards the end of this race, Mo has been making a handful of mistakes, and that has allowed me to get back onto his rear, and we're going to try and see can we get P4 in this race now. Should mention as well as this stage, I don't think I really mentioned it properly, is that I am racing in the super heavyweight category today, so I've got a very good chance of victory if I can get my heats together. Certainly if Mo can get his, if I can get past Mo after him losing it on the exit of hairpin 2, just not quite enough through Siamese. Can we get anything into Pullman's? We're going to go to the outside. Oh, it's going to be so close there on the exit of paddock. Mo's just seen, he's got really good throttle application out of paddock, and he's able to just come across and cover the line into Garda, and he's just actually getting a bit away from me a bit now as we come down that corner, whose name I have forgotten, through Cafe. But yeah, just to give you the stakes, so yeah, I'm in the super heavyweight category. Bill Taylor, I believe is his name, is in this race when he's currently leading. So if I stand any chance of getting a really good position in hopefully the A final, I need to make sure I've scored as many good results as I can. I've got P5. I'm in P5 at the moment. Can we make it P4? Can we set ourselves up really nicely? Because I'm going to be starting second in Heat 8, so a very good chance of a victory there if I can sort my shit out. But if we can get fourth here from Mo, it will give us an even better chance heading into what would hopefully be the A final. That's obviously got to be the aim. So we're going to try down the inside then into Siamese, but Mo's done some very good defensive driving there, got the line through Siamese, but we're going to try and do something through Pullman's. Can we get him on exit out of paddock? No, not quite. His throttle application was just a little bit too good though, but I have got the more favourable outside line out of Garda. He was on the inside, but again, getting really good throttle application down the hill, but we are coming right onto this back. Do I dare send one up the inside into Cafe? No, not quite, although should I have done? I don't know. I don't think it would have quite worked out because he's just about got the right line on me. And we come home to finish in another P5. Racing respect between myself and Mo. Fantastic race from you, sir. And fantastic racing all round. Great result for me. So 2 P5s on the board as we now come into Heat 9, not 8. Made a mistake earlier. Leave me alone. So Heat 9. P2 starting. Lawrence Chia is the chap on pole position, so if we're to have any hope of making the A final and giving ourselves a great chance of winning the super heavyweights, we need to have a great result here. It started awfully because my launch has been terrible, although I do get good braking into turn 1. Just gonna run a little bit too wide onto the red stuff, although it is starting to dry out, so it wasn't so much of a disaster as it could have been in previous heats, but we have lost P2 to Steve Lindy, and actually we've got really bad drive out of hairpin 1. Looks like we might even lose P3 here to that chap in the red boots, but we are just about able to hang on to P3 there. So we're going to try and settle down into this race. Got a very strong adversary in the form of Steve in front of us. Not sure how, we'll see how I'm able to get past him, and then I'm not quite sure what Lawrence is about, so we'll see what might happen going forward as we come through Pullman. You can just see Steve screwing away a bit there, and he's got a bit wrong into paddock, and as we tried to do, we thought about it in Heat 1, but we've actually done it in Heat 3, and that is getting down the inside on Steve and back up into P2 overall. So a very important move for the context of this race itself, and also the overall result from the heats. If we can make this stick, or even go one better, ladies and gentlemen, we're definitely going to be in the A final and probably have quite a good starting position as well. So let's see how this pans out. As you can see through turns 1 and 2, we've already made some significant gains on Lawrence. Although Lawrence hit there, taking the dry line into hairpin 1, which I thought would not work, but actually it did work for him quite nicely. Although he's taken a bit of a different line through hairpin 2, and that has allowed me to gain back any time lost through hairpin 1 as we now come through the S's section, getting a good drive out of the second S. So just gaining oh so slightly as we come now into paddock, and I've been able to keep it to the inside. Lawrence has run out slightly wide, which has given an unfavourable position for paddock as we now go up the hill to Garda. We're dangerous on the brakes, but we get the move done, ladies and gentlemen, and move up into P1 in this race. And I am delighted to say, ladies and gentlemen, that I do not have a dogfight for P1 to bring you, because what I am going to show you instead is me crossing the line in first position, was not challenged any further. You might even be able to hear me going woohoo, because that is my first ever outright win in a heat race for the sprints. Fantastic result. Brilliant driving from me, I must say, and I think this calls for a bit of paddock action, because, ladies and gentlemen, I was quite happy.
Yes.
Well done, man. You're flying out there.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, that doesn't happen very often.
Flying, eh?
Yeah.
Slowly reeling you in, but if anything, we're at the same pace. quicker than you in here.
That's the advantage of starting at the front. Did you get out there?
You probably would have taken me 15 laps to get the start through.
Yeah.
No, you're fast.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Bosh, have some of that. So here we go then, ladies and gentlemen, we are in the A final and we are starting in P8. Here's what the here's what the top 10 looks like. Sorry, so on pole position it would be Joe Holmes, followed by his brother Kurt. Then it's Alex Pritchard, Anwar Beryl-Smith, Chris Alcott, Tim Williams, Adam Nather, and then it's yours truly, just in front of Adam Wright and Kieran Chigsey, who is our closest competitor in the super heavyweight for the outright win today. There are two other super heavyweights in this A final. That would be Bill Taylor down in P15, who is fighting it out for the championship with Lee Henderson, who's not in this final at all. So Bill with a very good chance of the championship here, so he's going to be playing for a lot. And we also have in this final my old adversary, great person, so happy to see him again, Richard Newton. So there is a chance, ladies and gentlemen, that despite starting from pole position, I could end up without a podium. So I really need to be honest there. I really want to take home a trophy. I haven't taken home anything in the SB60 since I dropped into the heavyweight championship. That's why you haven't seen any videos for that championship this year. Here we go then with the A final, and we've already got off to an absolutely terrible start off the launch. We're basically fallen down behind Carl Walker as well, but we do get really good braking into the first corner. There's Adam Nather squirreling away. He's not happy about being bumped and barged as well. We've got that chap on our inside. I do believe it's Carl. Yes, it is. He's tapping the helmet. It's a super secret special signal to say, come on, let's work together. And actually, it's worked quite well into hairpin 2. Wasn't expecting that. Did think I was going to get rather enveloped out of hairpin 1, so we do crack on rather nicely then up into, down into P9, following Carl through there. You can tell by the speed as well that it has dried out. There goes Mark Wright diving down the inside, and actually I'm going to jink right here because having looked over my shoulder, I could see Kieran Chigsey there, and I had to ward him off the move down the inside. Fortunately, he wasn't dumb enough to try going down the inside, and we both able to carry on and still in with a shout of winning this super heavyweight contest as we head on to lap number 2. Just getting slightly detached from the pack up front, but it looks like Kyle going to try and send one down the inside of Adam. He's actually ended up barging Adam out of the way. Adam, because he's given it a bit through this race, through today even, it must be said, getting some back. And actually here comes Mark down the inside of Kyle into the S's. He forces Kyle around out wide, and I'm able to make the most of that as well to take back P9 in this race. So we cut a little bit further forward. The editing was seamless, but we are a little bit further forward in the race now, heading into Garda as Mark dives down the inside and absolutely obliterates Adam. As I said, he'd given it some this race, and he's got a bit more now back, and I'm able to make up 2 places on them up into P7. And I really can't quite believe, I couldn't believe it at the time, and I still can't believe it now. I'm now onto the back of Alex, Chris and Tim. I'm also leading not just the super heavyweights, and to be honest, at this point I could see, as I was coming down the hill, I could see Kieran, as I was coming through this bit, Kieran was way back, so the win for the super heavyweights is very much on. But the fact is, I'm leading the heavyweight C2 class as well, on the back of some very talented C1 drivers. This is way better than I could possibly have expected. And are we even going to have a look down the inside of Tim here into Garden? No, we're not. We've actually ended up getting bumped slightly. That sent us off the racing line. We're nearly head into the Tech Pro barriers, and we now lose a position to Kyle, putting us back down into P8. And we're not leading this heavyweight C2 anymore. We are now down in P2, but still going really great guns as we come onto the final lap. This has been an absolutely fantastic day. 2 P5s, a race victory, and still a chance of coming home in a really good position in the A final. I would never have expected this in my wildest dreams as we head now into hairpin 2. Looks like we've actually taken a bit of a wide line because there is Adam Nather. He's gone down the inside. He's been able to get back on it, but I'm able to keep it round the outside of the first S, down the inside into the second S, and I managed to maintain that position. Is there going to be anything coming from these 4 up front? Alex, Chris, Kyle, Tim, one of you, do a stupid move. Someone let me take more places. No, you've all all been sensible. Why did you do that? And I'd love to have finished just a little bit higher, but it does not matter, because the fact of the matter is I have raced absolutely sensationally today, and I come across the line to take home P8 and the Super Heavyweight Winners Trophy. One sprint race, one victory. I'll have some of that. Thank you very, very much. Big congratulations as well to Kieran and to Bill, who made up the rest of the Super Heavyweight podium. Also, apologies to Nicholas Walker, who was also in the grid for the A final. He was a Super Heavyweight. Well done, that man, for being there as well. Sorry I didn't mention you. But also a big congratulations to Lee Henderson, who took the Super Heavyweight Championship. Long time in the making. Well done, my friend. That was absolutely fantastic. Loved every second of it. So much so, ladies and gentlemen, that I am delighted to announce that I will be returning to the Sprint Championship next year, taking a break from the SP60, although it wasn't quite planned, but sometimes these things happen. But yeah, I will be in the Sprint Championship next year, racing as a heavyweight C2, because ladies and gentlemen, the fact is, had I not had a small moment whilst racing Tim, I could have won the heavyweight C2 as well as the super heavyweight. Obviously that wouldn't really have happened, but the fact is that's where I was on pace. So I do genuinely believe that I could have a really good championship in the C2 class next year. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen, my final video of the year, my return to sprint racing action. Very much worth it. Obviously the thumbnail for this video was, how hard could it be? But it turns out it was a piece of piss. I'm joking. It was still really difficult, still a lot at stake, just had to keep a level head, and that's what I managed to do. And I'm so proud of myself. Definitely my best race of the year, and that's quite something considering all the SP60s I did this year, and some really enjoyable endurance races as well. 2023 has been a weird one. I'm sorry I didn't bring you much content on this channel, but I'm delighted to have been able to bring this to you today. I'll hopefully see you in 2024, but all I shall say for now is ta-ta and farewell.